Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake goes by.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out your eyes.
First Aid with Kelly Kinkaid. Good morning, Kelly Kinkaid.
Good morning. Good morning.
This is a segment devised to help you improve your health physically, spiritually, as well as mentally around your family, friends, co-workers, whatever the case may be. Strangers, too.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
and
Well, Sway, the holidays are approaching us. And, I started thinking that all our families are going to be getting together.
Yeah.
And, it's important. A lot of blended families. Did you know that it's over 1,300 new step families that are forming every day?
Step family.
Step
How do
family,
you define a step
like
family?
blended families. A lot. I didn't realize it until I got older. I'm in a blended family. Both my parents, it was their second marriage, and they both came in with children. I'm in a blended family, and they had 3 kids, so we're a blended family. I just thought it was a Pleasantville.
So is that what they call it? Blended
Blended
family?
families. In the U.S., according to the stepfamily.org, over 50% of the U.S. families are either remarried and recoupled. And a lot of people go through that, second marriages, marriages and stuff. So today I brought Donna Jarrett. She wrote this interesting book called You're Not My Mommy, Warnings from an Ex-Stepmother.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sway.
Warning, you're an ex-stepmother?
I'm an ex-stepmother of 10 years.
So you and the guy got divorced?
We're divorced, and I am remarried.
And are you a stepmother now?
I am not, unfortunately. And that's what we can talk about as well. Because when you're a stepmother when you're married to the individual.
Right.
But what happens when you and that individual break up? What is your name after that?
Right.
Are you a stepmother or are you just now Donna?
What drove you to write this book? Because reading the book, he took you for a little spin because you married this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He had 3 children.
That's right.
Was living with his mother.
That's right.
And really didn't have a full-time job.
Right.
You sure know how to pick them.
Right.
Well, you know what? Every woman has some form of love in their hearts, or a woman, a real woman who can see vision for their man.
Yeah.
He had dreams, he had inspirations, he had aspirations. I just didn't know they would never go into fruition. You sit there and you actually help that individual obtain their career and things of that nature, and I thought that's what was going to happen. But overall, he was a great guy. And again, I talk about in the book, observation. I didn't observe far enough what I should have observed. But, as far as when I first met him, he had 3 kids.
How old were the kids?
The kids were 3 to 1.
3 to, wow, he had
3
babies.
They were
so
babies.
He wasn't that far removed from the third kid's mother.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
not.
How many babies? Was it just all the same mother?
They were all the same mother, which was, I could understand. Sometimes you make the mistake and so forth. But again, why I say warnings is because there were certain things I did not research. We don't research enough about relationships. And that was my biggest problem. I made a mistake, which is what prompted me to write the book.
Right, because I was going to say warnings from an ex-stepmother, but this could go for men too, because
Absolutely.
men date women with children.
That's right.
I want to come back and talk about what are some of those warning signs that you should be aware of.
Absolutely.
And we have a lot of people that tune into us that are in blended families, if you will. They're either stepmother, stepfather, and dealing with children from another marriage or another relationship. If that's you, if you fit that description, 888-742-3345. Give us a call. All right. Also joining us is Donna Jared, the author of the book, You're Not My Mommy, from an ex-stepmother.
Yes.
Warnings from an ex-stepmother. We got a lot of people who are in blended families on the line right now who have stepchildren. What are some of the warning signs that people should look out for? And what are the warning signs warning us too?
Well, the warning signs should be actually evident to most women and men. For instance, the children.
Yeah.
How are the children being taken care of? If, in fact, you got to understand something. When I first got one of the children, I talked about in the book, I got a call 3 a.m. Me and my ex-husband at the time was partying, getting it on and so forth. We were just newly married. Now, we already knew that the mother was a loser. Already know it. She's a loser. She smells like nothing, looks like nothing, ain't nothing. And her career is welfare. That's really who she is. Now, you understand that. You're watching the whole scene. What you have to do is observe. Once you see what that situation is, what if you do get a phone call 3 a.m. when the mother tells you, come and get this little nigga, otherwise I'm going to kill him. You as a woman, what are you going to do? You're going to say no? Of course you're not going to say no.
Yeah.
So observation is extremely important. That's number one. Number two, what you need to really pay attention to is his financial situation. See, it's not all about the baby mama drama. I hate when people say that. It's more in debt than that. Me as a career woman, I worked on Wall Street for many, many years. So getting involved with someone who wasn't making the same amount of money as me was fine. I don't care about that. I care about the man, the substance of the person. However, you have to understand financially, if in fact one of those kids come to live with you and he's not making enough money, guess what? Those coins come out of your pocket.
So the original mother, if she sues for child support, being that you're married to him, she could get money from your salary.
Actually, no, because what we did was I got advice from an attorney, and he told me to have your husband take that child away, which we did.
Yeah.
He came to live with us, and again, financial. I bought the house in Long Island. I got the beautiful school for this child. I wanted him to have things that he didn't have, that he didn't experience. But whose pocket does that come out of?
Yours.
Sure enough, it does.
But when you married him, he had 3 kids from the loser mom, as you call her.
Absolutely.
And he was living with his mother.
Right.
What didn't you see before you married her?
But that is the problem. Those are the warning signs. Now, again, I could actually look at a man and say, look, I understand what your dreams are, your aspirations, and so forth. You got to understand. You got to listen to the person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You listen to the person. It sounds like he was sincere and so forth, and I'm good with that.
You were in love with him. You believed him.
Absolutely. I believed in him. And what is wrong with a black woman believing in a black man? That's the thing. You be there, you support him and so forth, but never would I have ever thought that he would have took me for a loop. And that's cool, because at the end, that child benefited from what I actually done for him.
What else you also said, the thing about being a stepmother is that no matter how much you do for the children, they're always going to go back to the mother. And talk about your feelings, how you felt.
Well, I think towards the end, and I go into detail, I have to really say this. It pains me to this day. It's funny because that you asked me that the other day. I got a phone call from the children, and keep in mind, I couldn't have a relationship with the kids when we broke up because that wasn't my doing. That was his doing. You got to understand, he had nothing. I told him to leave. Unfortunately, he was cheating. And so I'm not going to stand around after taking care of your kids, studying with your children, sending your kids to school, paying for this, paying for that, and so forth, coming home from a 9 to 7 job, cooking and cleaning and paying the babysitter.
You were doing all that?
All that, bro, all that, and still bringing home the bacon. But what I am saying, even if a woman isn't doing that, and you are a stepmom, I have no children, I have a career, and I have so many other things going on, I still maintained taking care of that child because for me, that was important. It was very important.
Donna Jared is here. She has a book, You're Not My Mommy, Warnings from an ex-stepmother. Paige, you're in Atlanta. Do you come from a blended family?
I do. My mom and my stepdad have been together for about 12 years. My mom and I are black, and he and his son are actually white. So it was a really difficult adjustment for us. I actually kind of hated him at first.
Why?
Because he just wasn't my dad. And the crazy thing is that we experienced like a lot of racism and stuff like that too. So, I mean, that was part of it as well. But I mean, he was a great guy. Luckily, I didn't have like a horrible experience. But like I got to,
You just felt you feel like he was invading your family circle when he first came with your mom?
Yes. I felt like he was trying to be my dad. Like, so of course I'd always go to my mom. Like if I had, some type of issue with him, and I always felt like he was taking her side or she was taking his side. Yeah. Like it was really a really, really difficult adjustment for me. So. Yep.
Thanks for sharing that, Paige. You're a citizen of Sway in the Morning. I could kind of relate to that because I've dealt with a couple of stepfathers too. And initially, when you come into that personal space and you got this new energy and there's a male figure coming in, the kids tend to give the step parent a little trial and tribulation,
some shade.
But you as a step parent, I'm not a step parent, but you kind of have to have some leniency towards that in the beginning, right? They're just kids.
Of course, they're just kids, especially when I met all 3 of them. You got to understand, they were like mutes every single time I used to grab them with the father. But I know where that's coming from. You got to understand, there's a lot of brainwashing going on. Yeah. So here's your dad with a new chick, and here we come picking you up. The kids liked me so much that the mother literally had to say, it's okay if you like them because I know where that was coming from.
Yeah.
She would talk about me even though she didn't know me. And so the kids were confused. And that's always a big deal. And I always warn women about that. That's also another warning in there, is that expect to be backlash. Expect backlash about you, even though they don't know you. And this is not just from the mother. This is also all the other people attached to these kids.
Attached to the kids.
Aunts, uncles, and so forth, all these people.
Yeah, once my stepfather, he used to be good for making the sandwiches. And once he made the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, he won me over. So it didn't take much time after that. You know, Ryan is in Indiana. Your wife and you are both blended, Ryan?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so you guys both brought children to the marriage.
Yeah. I have a child, 5 years old, and she has a child who is 6, and then we had a little girl together. She's 1.
Wow. So you have a child 5, she had a child of 6, right? Is that what he's right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, how did the children get along?
Well, her ex, he was never around. He kind of left the relationship when Elijah was 1, so I kind of took over.
Okay.
And, that aspect. But they get along great. They've grown up together. They're 2 peas in a pod, and they stick together and look out for each other.
And see, I like that story. Ryan, thank you, a citizen of Sway in the Morning, because these things can work. What was one good piece of advice you give to parents who come or are in blended situations to help that situation work out?
Well, depending on the parents, I mean, think about it. If 2 parents get together, or if you're a person coming into the relationship, you are a step parent. The best thing that I have always said to women is, God bless you for taking care of a child that don't share your DNA. In a perfect world, we could have walked away and said, listen, this is for the kids.
Yeah.
They could still come and see me. They could still do whatever and so forth. Unfortunately, it gets kind of crazy. But the best thing that have happened is that when you get a call from the children, they say, we miss you. We didn't have a good summer because you weren't involved.
Yeah.
We always did something. Thank you for taking care of us. Thank you for the coat that you gave us. Thank you for all these things that I've contributed in their life, education-wise and so forth.
Donna Jared is here, author of the book, You're Not My Mommy, Warnings from an Ex-Stepmother. Your new husband, just out of curiosity, he has a job?
Sure enough.
Okay, there you go. You're doing better, girl.
And no kids.
All right, good for you, damn it. Boy, you sure know how to pick them. My gosh, Kelly Kinkaid, thank you.
Thank you. And how can people get this book?
Well, they can actually go into my website, www.ittakesavillagetoday.com, or you can get it from Amazon.
Okay.
You will find it right in there.
And
It takes a village today?
Ittakesavillagetoday.com.
Okay.
.com. Absolutely.
Right. You have a Twitter address?
I do. It's djarrett123.
And then Kelly Kinkaid, yours?
You can reach me on Twitter at Kelly Kinkaid, KellyKinkaid.
It's Sway in the Morning, only on Shade 45.